Hello everybody! Today I want to make a little short video. I would like to discuss a few Beatles albums. Also send out a question to all of you there. Maybe you can help me out because I have some few questions about my Beatles albums from Israel. I have 5 Israeli albums, Israeli pressings, and I would like to make a comparison with the UK original versions, and maybe some of you can help me out because I'm a little confused. So I want to start off with the Beatles for Sale album, which is this one. The guy who sold me that, he told me that this is exactly the Israeli pressing, the early Israeli pressing from 1964 or something like that. This is the on yellow-black Parlophone label. He told me that this is the Israeli one, and this is stereo pressing. But before I continue with the LP, I would like to ask a question about the cover. The cover is a gatefold cover, and it has the number PMC 1240. And this cover has a mono logo here. This cover, and this is my UK pressing, and it is exactly the same. So two covers are exactly the same, and it makes me wonder why. How can it be that the Israeli pressing has exactly the same mono cover as the UK pressing, and with a different LP on the stereo? A guy told me that there were leftovers of the cover, so they were used to use the Israeli pressings, but I don't believe that. So if some of you can help me out here, I'll be happy. This is the Israeli pressing on Parlophone label, and you can for sure say that it's Israeli pressing because it has Israeli letter, Hebrew letter embossed here. I don't think that you can see it, but yeah, I cannot show it, but it's exactly Israeli pressing because it has one of the Israeli letters embossed here on the run-out groove. So if any of you have this album, this version, maybe you can help me out and tell me what is the real cover of this album. How does it look like? Because if I compare it with the original UK version, they look pretty much the same, but as we all know, the UK versions have the text "sold in UK" written in the middle. So the vinyl itself is Israeli, but I don't believe that UK cover could be used with the Israeli pressings. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is the fact, but here's my first question to you. Maybe you can help me out. What is the real cover? What is the real cover of this Israeli LP? I still want to show you, I really want to show you the embossed letter here. Here you see, this letter is one of the letters from Hebrew alphabet. So you can clearly see that it's a stereo pressing, Israeli pressing, with a matrix number YEX 1421 and 1431. So my first question is what is the cover, real cover, should be of this album? Maybe I have a wrong cover, who knows? Maybe the guy who sold me that, he didn't have a real cover, so he took the UK original cover and just sold it to me. So this is my first question. The second question I want to talk about is the second album that I want to discuss is the Help album, which is also Israeli pressing. Neither mono, no stereo logo here On the cover itself, there is no indication where this album was made. This is the LP, also on the yellow black Parlophone label, without the sold in UK text embossed, because it is Israeli, and it has the same letter embossed here on the run out groove. You see that letter here? Yeah. So this is Israeli pressing. Now, on the label itself, this LP made me really confusing, because on the label itself it says PMC. It says PMC 1255. The matrix number on the label printed is XEX. Is XEX550, which tells me that this album is mono. But if I look at the run out groove here, it says YEX1691, which is the indication of the stereo pressing of the Help album. So I'm really confused. I bought this album, and this is Israeli pressing for sure, but the matrix number and the numbers on the label are different. The label belongs to the mono pressing, and the LP itself and the matrix number on the run out groove are stereo numbers. If any of you are familiar with this kind of, I don't want to call it misprint, but still, if any of you are familiar with this Help album is from Israel, I would be very happy if you could help me out and tell me what does it mean. By the way, the UK version of Help has mono here. Okay. The next album is Rubber Soul. In comparison to the UK version, this is the UK version, and this is the Israeli version. This cover is a little bit darker, and the colors are a little blurred. And this Rubber Soul logo here on the back is red. With the original UK version, is a loud cut version, the logo is black. This Rubber Soul album is on silver black Parlophone label, which I don't believe that it belongs to the 69 pressing, but what I noticed that it has only one EMI box on the bottom. It doesn't have the EMI box above the Parlophone logo, so it doesn't have the sold in UK text, which I don't believe belongs here. This is a stereo version, but it doesn't say which year it was printed, so I don't know. The matrix number is YEX1793. But it says here on the label 1965. But I know that silver and black Parlophone logo was used after 1969. So I really would like to know if any of you have the same album from Israel, and maybe you can help me out which year it was printed. The next album that I want to talk about is Oldies But Goldies. This is Israeli version, and the picture on the back is black and white, and this is the original UK version, and the picture here is colored. Now, the original UK version that I have, which was released in 1966, is on the yellow-black Parlophone label, and it's mono, only mono, as you can see it here, with a mono logo here, up. Now, the Israeli version, which has mono and stereo logo up and also on the back, is on the Apple label. Is on the Apple. Now, I know for sure that the Israeli pressing, because it has also this Hebrew letter logo here, embossed here. I don't know if it's visible enough or not, but it still has it. And it's stereo and mono, and it doesn't say anything about where this was printed. And the matrix number is YEX6201G. So I know that this original album was released in 1966 on the Parlophone label, but this one is Apple, so it's after 1968. So once again, if anybody of you are familiar with this album, please write me a comment what year it was printed. And the last album that I have, last but not least, I don't have the UK version of it, so I'm going to show you only the Israeli version. It's Yellow Submarine. Now, it can be indicated that this is the Israeli pressing because it has a stereo logo here and the EMI red logo here. And the lines are not red, the lines are blue here, these two lines. This one doesn't have Nothing Is Real written here. And this album is also on, well, as it should be, on Apple label. And it also says stereo and mono. What I also noticed that it doesn't have this Hebrew letter embossed here on the runout groove. But the seller told me that this is rare Israeli pressing. So I would like to know if this is the original 1969 pressing or some later pressings. Sorry. Of course, no indication on the cover or on the LP or anywhere what year it is printed. But this one also came with this inner sleeve, the promotional sleeve of all the other albums, and you can see it here, rubber sole. And I believe this is the one that I showed you just before. Once again, if anybody knows, familiar with these Israeli pressings, I would be really happy if you could help me out and tell me what year are they released. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm waiting for your response and waiting for your comments. Thank you very much.